Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to another Packet Tracer tutorial. Okay, so in this activity, we're going to be looking at configuring port security and then verifying that they actually the security that we implemented has actually worked or is actually working. Okay, so that's that, and just on top here we have the addressing table, and that is the IP address for these devices. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with part 1. So configure port security. Okay, you're going to actually configure. So part A, access the command line for S1 and enable port security on fast Ethernet port 1 and port 2. Okay, so what we do is we're gonna double click on switch S1 and we're just gonna drag it to the side to where we can actually see it properly. So just here. Okay, we're gonna click on CLI and we're gonna hit enter and we say NE, which is enable. Okay, enter, and then we say config T. Okay, and now we can say so int range, okay, FA 1 to 2. Okay, enter. Okay, and then we're gonna say so switch port, sorry, switch to switch port, and then we can say port security. Sorry, spell that right, port security, and then we can say enter. Okay, then we can now see the completion is from 0 to 32 out of 100. Okay, so that's part A done, and now we move on to part B. Okay, so we say we just hit the upper arrow key on your keyboard. That's it, and now you can say maximum 1. Okay, so the reason why we said maximum 1, so here it says set maximum so that only one device can access fast Ethernet port 1 and port 2. So what we have here is obviously PC1 is connected to port 1 and PC2 is connected to port 2. So we can see that by briefly just pointing out this blue green links. So you can see port 1 and then port 2. Okay, that's how we know what ports they are. Okay, so now we say come back here and say maximum 1. Okay, so that only these devices will be allowed to use these ports. So PC1 will only be allowed to use port 1, and PC2 only allowed to use port 2. Okay, so we say maximum 1, enter. Okay, so now we can move on to part C. So part C, so secure the port so that the MAC address of device is dynamically learned and added to the running configuration. So we say again, we can hit the upper arrow key on your keyboard, okay, to bring the your previous command, your previous input command. So it says switch port security MAC address, okay, sticky. Okay, so enter. Right, now you can see again the completion gone from 32 to 46 out of 100. Cool. And now we can say we move on to part D, in fact. So set the violation so that the fast Ethernet port 1 and port 2 are not disabled when violation occur, but packets are dropped from an unknown source. Okay, so we hit the upper arrow key again. Okay, so backspace and all this. Okay, so we just say violation. Okay, if we want to know what violations, what options of violations we actually have, okay, we just input a question mark. Okay, so like that, and now we can see we have protect, restrict, and shut down. Okay, so what they actually do? Well, I found this documentation is actually is a Cisco documentation. Okay, so this is what protect does, and this is what restrict does, and this is what shutdown does. Okay, so protect, drop packet with unknown source addresses until you remove a sufficient number of secure MAC addresses to drop below the maximum value. Okay, and then the restrict is exactly the same except this part here. Okay, this part here. So highlight it properly. So and cause security violation counter to increment. So when there is a violation, protect will not increment. It will not show you how many times the number of violation has occurred. Okay, but restrict will show you how many times someone has actually tried to get onto a particular port. Okay, and then you have a shutdown. So this one, put the interface into the error disabled state immediately and send an SNMP trap notification. Okay, so on here we're just gonna go with restrict. So we're going with this one here. Okay, so we say restrict. Okay, so enter. Alright, so now we can see we got 62. Okay, out of 100. And now go back to the activity again. Now it says disabled all the remaining unused ports. Hint, use range keyword to apply this configuration to all the ports simultaneously. Okay, so what we actually do is we can just say int range FAO /3 to 24. Okay, and then we say we give it comma. Okay, we say GO /1 to 2. Okay, so why are we specifying these numbers? Is because if we actually come to back to the switch and select on these connections, we just select straight through. We attempt to just try to connect to a switch here. We can see all the ports. These are the ports that have not been used. So you go from 3 to 24. And the gigabit Ethernet you go from 1 to 2. Hence why we are saying from 3 to 24 and then from 1 to 2. Yeah. Okay. So we just hit enter there, and then we say shut down. Okay. So shut down. That's it. So blah blah blah. Apply all this and disabled all the remaining unused ports. Yeah, so we're just gonna shut down now. Boom, that's it. Okay, so now you can see from 3 up to 24 has been shut down, and 1 and 2 of the gigabit Ethernet also been shut down. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to part 2. But before we do that, we can now see completion is 86 out of 100, so nearly there. Okay, so we're gonna do part A, which is from PC1 ping PC2. Okay, so PC1 desktop command prompt, the address is already here given to us. Okay, so but if we didn't know, how do we check? So this is the address for PC1. If you didn't know, we just say IP, okay, config, and then just hit enter. That's it, and that's the address here, 10.10.10.10 of this PC1. And as we already found out, we are already given one here, and we're just double checking that it's correct. Okay, so we're gonna ping from PC1 to PC2. We're gonna ping PC2, which is 10.10.10.11. So we say ping, okay, 10.10.10.11. Okay, so enter. Alright, so now we can see we sent a 4-packet ping and they were all successful replied. Okay, now we go back to our activity. Just minimize that for a bit. It says verify port security is enabled and MAC addresses of PC 1 and 2 were added to the running configuration. Okay, so we come here, we first exit this, okay, and again we exit, okay, and now enter, and then we say show, okay, port security, okay, and then we say int FAO/1. So we want to see what's the security on this port 1 here. Okay, so enter. Okay, so we can see on port 1, which is this one here, security port is enabled. Okay, MAC address of this PC is added. Okay, so then we also check it for port 2. So we just hit the upper arrow key on our keyboard and then just put number 2, which is port 2, this one here. Yeah, and then enter. And now we have port 1. We know that is the security is enabled in there. Okay, and then port 2 again, the security is also enabled. Okay, and that's the MAC address of PC2. Yeah, and that's the MAC address for PC1. Okay, how do we check that? Okay, so PC1. Yeah, so here what we do is we go on IP, so IP config space /o, enter. What we are interested in is the physical address. Okay, so here, yeah, so we can see the ending is 2245. Okay, that's on PC1. And then if you look here, there you go, this part here, 2245, you can see the MAC address actually matches. Yeah, okay, now we can also check for PC2, which is the same thing. Okay, again, command prompt, you can just go on so IP config, okay, /o, again, MAC address for this, which is the physical address, which is ending 697E. Again, just over here, 697E. That's what we're interested in, and we know PC2 is added. Its MAC address has been added to port 2, and PC1 MAC address is also added to to port 1. Okay, so we just close down this for a bit. Okay, so now it says part C says attach ROG laptop to any unused switch port, and notice that the link lights are red. Okay, so let's find out. Okay, we select this straight through here. We select, we click on ROG laptop and connect it to any of these ports. Yeah, doesn't really matter which one you connect, but I'm gonna connect to port 3. Okay, now you can see lights are red, of course. Okay, why is that? Because we did shut down the ports. So when we were shutting these ports down, so those, yeah, for instance, we connected to port 3. Yeah, there we go. We actually shut the ports down already. That's why it's red. Okay, and now what the task is saying is enable the port, and part D says enable the port and verify that ROG laptop can ping PC1 and 2. Okay, so let's enable the ports now. Yeah, so back here, and we say config T, enter, and now we say so we say int FAO/3, which is the interface, so this port here. Okay, back here, and just hit enter, and then we say no shut. Okay, no shut. That's it, and now we can see it's going to turn green eventually. Okay. So once it turns green, we will try to ping PC1 and then PC2. Okay, so that's the address for PC1 and that's the address for PC2. We're gonna try to ping it. Okay, so again, like we did already, so we click laptop and command prompt, and we say ping. Okay, so ping this one here, 10.10.10.10, yeah, which is PC1. We're pinging, boom, and it replied. Yep, and now we just hit the upper arrow key and just change this to 11, which is the address for PC2. We're gonna ping now PC2. Enter. Now you can see it replied. Okay. Now, what it says, let's just minimize. So still part D. So it says after verification, shut down the port connected to ROG laptop. So we're gonna come back to our switch. Okay, we're just gonna shut it down. So we're gonna say int FAO/3, enter, yeah, and then we just say shut down. Yeah, boom, and as you can see, there we go, it's now red. Cool. And now it says part 2E says disconnect PC2 and connect ROG laptop to PC2. PC2's port, verify that ROG laptop is unable to ping PC1. Okay, so what we do is we just gonna get rid of this quickly and just click escape, and let's disconnect this and connect it to here. Okay, now we're just gonna wait for the lights to turn green, and we're gonna attempt to ping PC1 and see if the connection will be whether it will ping successfully. Okay. Okay, so there we go, and now we can ping. So it's a ping 10.10.10. Again, PC1, its address is that, so just here. Yeah, so let's try and ping. Boom. Okay, now we can see the request timed out. Okay, first ping, yeah, nothing happened. Request timed out, and there's another one, and that's it. It was unable to ping. Okay, so let's just get rid of this, and now going back to the switch, it says display. So part F says display the port security violations for the port ROG laptop is connected to. Okay, so enter, and then we just exit this, exit one, and exit again, and then we can say so show port dash security. Okay, and we say int FAO slash, okay, slash 2. Okay, now we hit enter. Okay, now what it says here is display the port security violation for the ports ROG is connected to. So these are the security violations. So count 4. Why is this 4? Because when we this laptop, let's just go back to command prompt, when we pinged PC1, yeah, there were 4 packets sent. Okay, so that's the first one, second, third, and fourth one. Okay, so that's why you have 4. Okay, so 4 packets were sent. Okay, just to verify this, we're gonna try to ping again and see. So let's ping again. Boom. Okay. So packet 1 sent, and packet 2 again is timed out. Yeah, timed out again. There we go. Now it's all timed out. Yeah. So just verify this. Click. Just hit the upper arrow key on your keyboard and enter. Now we can see 8. So before it was 4, and now we can see it's 8. Yeah. So that is because first we sent 4 packet, second we sent 4 packet. 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. Okay, not rocket science, we know that. Okay, so now we just minimize this. Okay, so disconnect ROG laptop and reconnect PC2. Verify PC2 can ping PC1. Okay, So I'm going to disconnect Rog laptop and connect it back to PC2. Okay, now again we're gonna wait for this link to boot up and we're gonna ping again. Okay, so just gonna wait for this to turn green and we're good. So there you go. Click on PC2 again and command prompt, let's ping PC1. So ping 10.10.10.10. Again, the address of PC1 is that, yeah, so 10.10.10. Okay, there you go, enter, and now we know it does reply. Okay, so good. So that's part G done. Okay, part H, it's saying why is PC2 able to ping PC1 but Rog laptop is not. So as I already mentioned, it's because we enabled security on these ports, so only PC2 is really allowed to use port 2. Okay, on port 1 on the other hand, only PC1 allowed to use it. Therefore, if this laptop attempt to connect to any of these ports, then it will not be able to communicate with any other PCs, and if it tries to ping, the security count will increment. So first we had 4 packets counted, and then we have 8. So now we know that's why. Okay, so that is the end of the activity. So that's 100, as you can see here. Again, this is my second video that I am uploading on YouTube. So if you guys again have any comments or if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message and I'll be happy to reply. Okay, thank you.